The live in-raid event for Escape from Tarkov happened yesterday, and that was phase 2 of the Halloween event, the very special thing that they've been hyping up for ages. But personally, I don't know whether they should have. Let's talk about why. Now let me start by saying the overall Halloween event was one of the most fun times I've had in Escape from Tarkov in a very long time. However, the phase 2, the live in-raid event on actual Halloween, I don't think it lived up to many people's expectations. Firstly, we were all told to be in raid at a certain time. Everyone was a little bit confused by that at first. They were like, what, do we need to be queuing at that time? Do we need to be in raid when that time happens? The answer was you needed to be in raid. But the problem was, everyone rushed to the game about 5 minutes before, meaning the servers overloaded, and everyone got kicked out of the game. And very few people actually got into raid by that 11 PM Moscow time deadline, meaning half the people didn't see what actually happened in the event. Which is a shame, because what actually happened in the event was pretty cool. Now personally, I didn't get to see it for myself, but luckily Manly actually got into a raid as this happened. He just spawned in, it was bright daylight, a nice custom sunny day, and all of a sudden, the sky just went dark. It went really dark and moody. Basically, if you looked in the sky, the sun would shoot past and it would go from like midday to midnight in a couple of seconds. And then cultists were everywhere, and every scav was wearing a pumpkin helmet pretty much, and it was pretty mad. And because most people were going into raid expecting it to be daytime, no one was prepared for the very foggy, dark weather, meaning no one could see anything, and therefore the cultists were able to sneak up on you and take you out pretty quickly. And on top of that, you were tagged and cursed, meaning all of those scavs were rushing straight to you. And that was pretty crazy. Now the tagged and cursed thing actually stayed past the 11 PM Moscow time deadline, and if you went onto something like Night Factory where the cultists were still spawning 100% of the time, you got some crazy things happening. They would chase you, they would literally run to your spawn location. It was pretty funny. But straight after the event time that hardly anyone got to see, everything went back to what was happening the day before, apart from the sky was either dark grey or just dusk and dawn sort of weather, so a really orangey sky, and the scavs, the majority of them still had pumpkin helmets, and of course you were still tagged and cursed. But there wasn't a guaranteed cultist spawn, even in the daytime. If you found cultists, they were on the locations and they spawned naturally, so that was a shame. But other than that, the tagged and cursed thing was pretty fun, killing tons of scavs, and the pumpkin helmets are really strong. Figured that out when an M62 bullet to the head didn't kill a scav. That was pretty mad, but yeah, it's interesting. But half of the people didn't get to see the event because the servers weren't prepared for the influx of people, which you sort of expect it if you've been hyping it up. And another thing I've got a problem with is the sort of hype that they were showing. Like the teaser that they released on TikTok that everyone was going off of involved cultists, yeah sure, and the event did involve cultists. But he was walking around the factory and he picked up a red keycard and then the cultists were behind him. But that was happening the day before anyway. And I don't know why you needed to be in raid at a certain time to see that. I don't know whether they could have just done that for a few hours anyway. Like it wasn't a super special thing seeing the sun shoot across the sky and it get dark in a daytime raid. Like you could have done that at the start of every daytime raid, just so people could see it, especially with the server issues that were happening. Like I said though, the actual event as a whole was very fun. I got a ton of cultist knives and a ton of pumpkins, which I'm basically going to save until the event's over and there's no more pumpkin helmets, because then they shoot up in price on the flea market and I become a rich boy. But I don't know whether they could have done more, personally. But that's just me. I want to know your guys' opinions, if I'm honest, because I streamed it. Everyone in my chat was a bit like, yeah, it's a pretty underwhelming event. And from reading on the community, that's what a lot of people are saying. A lot of people are praising BSG for the event as a whole, but the actual being in raid at this certain time and this whole live event that they were hyping up so much, I don't know whether people enjoyed that so much, because half of them couldn't see it and half of them didn't really think that it was too special. So what happens now? Well, as of right now, the day I'm recording this video, it is the day after Halloween, and the event has gone back to basically where it was in stage 1 before the live event. If you don't know what has actually changed and you haven't bothered playing yet, then there is a video in a card annotation on screen and in the description for you, showing you everything that has changed as part of the main Halloween event. And this video is basically a discussion type thing to talk about what happened in the live event itself. So if you want to know what is actually happening still as of the time of this recording, then go and check it out, links in the description. But boys, that's my opinion on this live event, and it's a hard one to make because I've been having a lot of fun with it. I've been having a lot of fun with it as a whole though, not this specific being raid at a certain time. That kind of disappointed me. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I know I've been waffling, but that's, you know, that's part of the fun, having a little conversation with you lot. So let me know down below in the comments what you think. Like this video if you agree, dislike it if you disagree, and we can have a little conversation like that. And subscribe for future content, because of course I do a lot of Tarkov on this channel. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in, boys. I'll see you in the next video.